guys, and welcome back. If you are a first-time visitor, I am so glad to have you here. I know you guys have a lot of options when it comes to other makeup, beauty, any kind of channel really here on YouTube, and I really appreciate that you have chosen mine. And if you are a returning subscriber or just returning visitor, welcome back. As you can tell, I still do not have my lights set up. My husband was out all last week for work, so we're just kind of now getting everything up on the walls, everything just kind of where it needs to be. So hopefully in the next one they'll be back. But if you notice that the lighting situation is much improved from the last video. Since we're talking about our move, one of the things that I noticed when I was moving some of my makeup was that I had a lot that I actually forgot about, and I was really disappointed in myself. But I was also really excited because it's exciting to get to play with makeup that you forgot you had. It's like experiencing it all over again as if it were new. And some of the items that I had forgotten about and I am really excited to get to play with again are these Wet n Wild eyeshadow trios. These are the Color Icon eyeshadow trios. This one is in Velour Vixen, and this one here is in Plaid to the Bone. Now, they don't make trios anymore. Not that I can find. You can still find some of them in your local grocery stores, in like your local drugstores and things like that. But for the most part, what I've noticed is that they are the smallest that they come. They have singles and they have quads. There are no longer any trios. So if your first thought is, Amy, these aren't new, why are we looking at these? Well, they're kind of new to me because I don't remember them. And I just want to show you guys, especially around the holidays, when for a lot of us, money is tight and there's a lot of money being spent on other people and not as much on yourself. It's a good time to show you that there's a lot to still be had in older makeup that you may have forgotten about, makeup that you just think, well, I've used it so many times, it's just not that interesting anymore. No, girl, it is totally interesting, and you can do some amazing, beautiful, holiday, very glam looks with some of the stuff that you already have. I don't know if you've ever heard that in reference to like the equipment that you have, that the best thing that you can get is what you already have. I'm kind of taking that to heart with makeup. I want to be very mindful of my purchases from now on. After all that decluttering that I did, it was so disappointing that I want to make sure that the purchases I am making are, for the betterment of my collection, not just because it's new and I have to have it because everybody else has it. There's a lot to be still had from the makeup that you already have. You don't have to have the latest palette. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and you don't have to feel like you need something because it's by a certain brand. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in a little bit, and the first thing that we want to do is prime our lids, and I am using my MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Painterly. I find that most matte shades apply better with this than with a concealer, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't have like a true eyeshadow base anywhere, at least that I can find. So this is the next best thing. So I am going to take a little bit on my finger, I'm going to run it in the paint pot, and we are just going to pat this all over the lids, make sure it's even across the whole lid. I have two trios, but the one that I want to use today is called Plaid to the Bone, and it's on the cooler tone side. And what I like about these trios, at least, I don't think the quads show every shade like this, but the trios for sure, they have exactly where you should put it on each shade. It's stamped in there, so it's pretty foolproof. So you have a brow bone shade, a crease shade, and an eyelid shade. So first off, we are going to start with the crease shade, and that is this really beautiful kind of, I almost want to call it like a navy teal, because it's a really pretty mixture of both shades. And just like the shade says, we are going to focus this here in the crease. I might blow it out a bit just because we've only got 3 shades and I really kind of want this to be a statement. So we shall see. Oh, I have a visitor. As you can tell, this really did not take much effort to get to this really gorgeous, like almost like turquoise jewel toned shade, and that's mostly thanks to the paint pot. But these people just sleep on Wet n Wild shadows, you know. They're so good quality for the price point that they're sold at. I think these trios were $2.99, which is an awesome deal. That's $1 a shade. But their new quads are the same price. They're $2.99. That's less than $1 a shade. So all I'm doing, I thought I would just show you this because you might wonder how I got it to look like this, is I'm deepening up the crease quite a bit and just kind of gently blending out the rest of it so that it almost looks like I used like 2 different shades here, when really I mean, we only have 3, so I only use the 1 shade. But that way it gives it a little more dimension. It makes it look like you spent way more time on this than you really did. For the next shade, like I said, we only have 3. We're going to go with the eyelid shade, and that is this one right here. I have a feeling this is going to turn out more duochrome than I am anticipating. But for this, what I'm going to do is run my finger in it, and just like it says on that shadow, we are going to just pop this all over the lid and then gently blend it out into that dark shade that we already have down. Once that lid shade is down, you can take the same brush that you used for the crease shade and just gently blend the 2 shades together so you don't have any harsh lines. All I want to do now is add a little bit of winged liner just to kind of bring it all together, and your lid will be completely done. So the lids are done, and I think they turned out beautiful for only using 2 shades. And what I did was I drew a wing. So as you can see here, I have my wing, and I just took the concealer and went all the way up until my eyeshadow ended, basically. And I just did a concealer line right there all the way, just drawing a line from the wing all the way out, just to kind of clean everything up, because dark looks for me, I feel like really need to be crisp and clean. But we're gonna do something a little different now, and I don't normally do this, but I was noticing that these have a lot of fallout, and that's fine. Shadows will always have some sort of fallout, but for these, it's so dark and it's very pigmented that I'm worried that if I put my face makeup on and then try to do the lower lash line, we're gonna have a problem. Just while I was trying to clean up the fallout from the lid, I was just getting blue all over my face, and I don't really want that to happen once I do my face makeup. So we're gonna do the lower lash line this time before face makeup, just to avoid that mess altogether. I'm going to use the same shade that we put on the crease, so that very first matte dark shade, and I'm gonna take this teeny tiny little flathead brush right here, and we're going to dip in to the same shade here that says crease. And I'm going to use that flat tip of this brush to really push this up here into the lash line. Once we have that shade all up in that lower lash line, I'm going to take a little round brush like this. The name of this brush right now is escaping me. I have tried this like 4 times already and I still can't get it. So we're just going to continue. And I'm going to take a little bit more of that shade, but I'm going to use it to buff this out so that line isn't so harsh. It doesn't look like, you know, like bad 90s eyeliner. Because we did the lower lash line before the makeup, we're actually almost done. The only thing we have left is we did not highlight the brow bone or the inner corner. And there is a shade for that. There is a beautiful, like champagne gold shade here, and that is labeled brow bone. So I'm gonna take a small little pencil brush, tap it into this brow bone shade, and we're gonna run this just up here on the highest points of your brow bone. Make sure to blend it into the existing shades. And for the inner corner, I'm going to take an even smaller pencil brush and I'm just going to, ooh, I can't do it like this. And I'm just going to spritz it real quick, tap that wet brush into the brow bone shade, and dab this on the inner corner. And that is all, folks. That is the entire look. I really love that Wet n Wild has these little trios. Well, I guess they're quads now. Although I'm not actually sure that this one is available, although I did find it on Amazon. I found it on a bunch of other sites, but not the Wet n Wild site. But I did find a couple of other options that looked similar, and they're also $2.99. So I'll have them over here. There is Dragon Scales, which I think is a limited edition one that is with their Fire and Ice collection. There's Lights Out, which I think is part of their permanent collection. And there is Hooked on Vinyl, which again I think is also part of their permanent collection. But there's very similar options. They have almost exactly the same shades as this one, but you get the bonus of a 4th shade. So you have more looks that you can create. This is just the time of year where I feel like you get extra pressure to have the latest thing. Buy that new eyeshadow palette, buy that new lipstick, because, you know, obviously everybody launches their holiday collections around this time. But I just wanted to show you that you don't have to do that. You can create some really cool stuff with products that you already have and products that you didn't even remember that you had. Gotta say, this is a little more dramatic than I was intending, but that was kind of the point, to show you guys that you can do dramatic stuff like this with 1, 3 shades, and 2, drugstore makeup. Hopefully next time I will have my lights back up. At least the lighting is a lot better today. But don't forget, if you guys do like these videos, please leave them a big thumbs up. It means a lot to me, and it really helps out my channel. And if you are a continuous visitor and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It also helps me out a lot, and we have a big giveaway coming at 1,500 subscribers, which isn't that far away. So stay tuned. I hope you guys are having an awesome week. I hope you guys do not have allergies the way I do. Like, I can't breathe through my nose. It's so bad. But that's okay. It is almost Christmas. It is so exciting. And I hope you guys are as excited as I am. And I am also excited to catch you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.